Yo guys, what is going on? Blossom is back, and I am back. I am sorry I did not post yesterday. If you follow me on Instagram, you will know exactly why. I locked myself out of my own house, and I couldn't go home, and my whole setup, over here is at home, and I couldn't do anything. My microphone, my laptop, my PC, everything is here, so yeah, I couldn't do it. So I'm wondering what you were thinking, what I was doing if I was homeless. Well, basically, after I found out I lost my house keys, I basically went, how people go for house shopping. I went for back alley shopping, and I moved into this really it wasn't a creepy back alley. It was the least creepiest back alley. It had only 2 dumpsters in it, 1 raccoon, no hobos. So it was I'm joking. So basically what happened was, if you were interested, especially if you follow me on Instagram, you would know I lost my house keys. I left them in the gym, and I only realized that I lost them after I had dinner in the same mall the gym was in. The problem was the gym closes at 9, and I finished dinner after 9, so when I got back, the gym was closed, and so honestly, at that point, I didn't even know if my house keys were in the gym or not, because no one was there to confirm it for me. I just had a feeling, 90% I probably left in the gym, 10% it probably dropped out of my bag and on the basement floor somewhere in the mall, and if that's the case, then I was well and truly effed. But yeah, in the end, it was in the gym. I had to come back the next day, pick it up. So if you also know on my personal Instagram, if you do follow my personal Instagram, you would know that I went on and stayed with my friend at his apartment. So he came in clutch. Your boy had a place to stay, had a place to sleep, had a place to shower, so we are all good. But I didn't have a place to record, so that's why we didn't have a video yesterday. But now we are back with that pretty lengthy intro, maybe a bit of a story time. We are back with what can you get from that pack, and we are going to be doing the Motorsport Carbon Fiber. Now I know, I have done the Motorsport Carbon Fiber before on this series. However, that was 1 year ago. This is indeed what can you get from that pack, the 1-year anniversary. I can't believe that this actually it's been longer than a year now, actually just a year and a couple weeks anniversary. It feels good. It feels good to have a series that runs this long along my pack openings, but of course this pack has aged like a fine wine. Why I chose to do it again is not only because this was the first what can you get from that pack video I did, but also because we've had 3 updates since the last time I recorded. Since the last time I reviewed this pack, right? There was Italian Renaissance, German Renaissance, German Renaissance, Italian Renaissance, Great Exhibition, those 3. So this pack has seen a lot more new cars, and I have to say, after looking at the list, this pack has aged like a fine wine. Honestly, the new cars from the newer updates have actually made this pack better, and today we're going to talk about why I think the Motorsport Carbon Fiber is indeed one of the best carbon fibers in the game. So with that said, and one of the best carbon fibers for you to buy. So with that said, let's get into the contents and let me tell you what can you get from the Motorsport Carbon Fiber. Alright guys, and here we are with the contents of this amazing pack. Starting us off are the Ultras. So here are the statistics for you. There are 17 Ultras that you can get from this pack now from Top Drive's Club. If you exclude prize cars, obviously, as I do on this series, Top Drive's Club will tell you 16. In fact, the website has actually missed out a Motorsport Ultra, which you will see here, a little bit of a ghost car. You might remember, if you remember watching me open Motorsport Carbon Fibers the last time they came out, because I ended up getting it, and I was surprised because I was like, wait a minute, I checked the contents. I'm not supposed to get you. But yeah, you'll see that in a bit. So 17 Ultras you can get from this pack. 7 of them are RQ57 and below, and 10 of them are RQ58 and above, which just means that you have a higher chance of getting a higher end Ultra, if that means of anything to you. Anyway, starting us off is the Opel Adam R2, an amazing car. It's an amazing car for clubs. If you haven't maxed out, you're basically gonna beat the whole competition, because when it comes to clubs, when it comes to front-wheel drive off-road events, it's just this and the Assetto Corsa. Everything else is irrelevant at this point. Suzuki Swift, out the window. All the, the Fiat Seicentos, out the window. If it's high RQ, honestly, if it isn't even high RQ, you'll find a way to balance it where the Opel Adam and the Assetto Corsa are the cars you want to gun for. Anyway, moving on next is the Ford Sierra RS500. Huge fan of this car. Medium ground clearance, decent MRA. In fact, it has a really strong MRA for a car in its niche, which means 80s car, 80s rides, 80s ultra rares, I should say that. But yeah, it has good MRA for 80s ultra rares. It's medium good handling. I'm a fan of this car. I have it maxed out. Moving on is the Alfa Romeo Alfetta GT Rally version. This is the car that I've been trying to get for a while, just because, you know, Italian off-road events, you know, is this and the 037 that you really want to get. Moving on, this is the ghost car. This is the ghost car, which I actually almost forgot adding into the video. So that's why you can see it goes from 56 to 52, because I was like, oh, wait a minute, you can get this car too. It's the Renault Sport Clio RS 16. This is not found in Top Drive's club, and so the last time when I went to open the Motorsport Carbon Fibers, I got this and I was just like, wait, what? I wasn't expecting you. But this is a car that I wouldn't be happy with getting. So far, every car I've talked about this before this were decent. In fact, good. But this one is definitely one I'm not interested in getting. Moving on is indeed not the Assetto Corsa. I've been calling it the Assetto Corsa, but I meant the Corsa Super 1600. This is the best front-wheel drive off-road ultra rare in the game. Really, really good car. Amazing handling. Low 0 to 60. Definitely 100% a keeper. If you can get 5 of them and max them out, that would be amazing. Moving on is Peugeot 205 T16. Now, once again, you know, it's not the best car, but I wouldn't say this is a car that you should be unhappy to get if you get this pack, because this car does have one thing to it, being this is the best Peugeot in the game, the best packable Peugeot in the game, and it's the third best Peugeot in the game. The other two above it are prize cars, one being the useless Epic Dakar, and the other being the useful Pikes Peak. But yes, so if you do get this car, from the Motorsport Carbon Fiber, don't be too sad, because you can tell yourself, at least it's the best packable Peugeot in the game. Four-wheel drive, decent handling, medium ground clearance as well. You know, it has a bit going for it for sure. Moving on is the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 1. Amazing car. I am a huge fan of the Evos in the game. I mean, I'm a decent fan of Evos in real life. I love the 8 and the 9 and the 7. But in the game, when the Top Drives really made me love Mitsubishi a whole lot more than I used to. Because their Ultras and Epics, some of their Epics, the RQ79 Epics, and all of their Ultras are just so good, even the PHEV. So yeah, the Lancer Evo 1, such a great car, low 0 to 60, high handling, medium ground clearance, four-wheel drive. It ticks a lot of the boxes off. Moving on is the Volkswagen Golf GTI TCR. Amazing car once again, 95 handling. I think in terms of German Ultras, this German Ultra has one of the best handling in the game. I think it's this and the Roof 4200, I believe. They both hit 95. I don't think there's a German Ultra that hits above 95. Correct me if I'm wrong. For non-price cars, I'm pretty sure 95 is the highest it gets. Moving on is the Aston Martin DB3S. Amazing Aston. This car. There goes my water bottle. Amazing car. 88 MRA. Decent 0 to 60. A high top speed and decent handling. Very light as well. I would recommend keeping two, 1699 and 1996. Now, moving on is the Abarth 030. Once again, an amazing car. This wasn't in the pack the last time we reviewed it. So was the DB3S. So two absolutely gorgeous additions added to the Motorsport Carbon Fiber. Next one is an OG, the Nissan Silvia 240 RS. It does have its niches now because it does have a high top speed for an off-road rear-wheel drive car. So it will beat cars like the Porsche 924 as well as the Ford Escort in the half mile and the 1 mile and the testable as well. If we're comparing it with the 924 and the Ford Rally Escort exclusively, I think the Lancia 037 will beat this. We'll find out in a bit because we can get that car from the pack as well. Actually, it's next. So 142, 147. It's really a question of MRA now, but this might be the better option to go. This might be the better Silvia. But yes, this is a very good car. I don't have this in my garage, and I really want one. I really want to have 5. I'm a huge fan of this car. If you remember Victory Swing, who is a garage, whose garage I reviewed a couple weeks ago, months ago now probably, he has like 5 of these, 3 of them or 4 of them maxed out, and to be honest, I can see why. I love this car. Moving on is the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 4. I have 3 of these maxed out. 2 of them are 699, 1 is 969. That kind of speaks for itself. It's light, it's nimble, 4-wheel drive, medium. It's a better version of the Evo 1. It's a really good car. It used to be epic as well. Now, moving on is the Ford Escort Rally spec. Very, very light, very nimble. Love this car a lot. 4190 are the stats maxed out. Might be even 4191 actually. Might be. Don't quote me on that just yet. Moving on is the Porsche 924 Carrera GTS Rally. Amazing car. But once again, I don't really need to get this car from the pack anymore because I can just keep grinding championships for that 10% chance, and theoretically I could have like 100 million 924s in time. Moving on is the Subaru Impreza Wrx. So from every car that I've mentioned, from the every car I've mentioned so far has been useful besides that Renault Clio, and now we have to talk about the second useless car to get, and that is the Subaru Impreza Wrx. This one and the Clio, these two are the cars you kind of don't want to get from this pack. Now, I have gotten some stick for crapping on this car, but let's be honest, this car is genuinely useless, and if you actually like this car, that's literally 100% because you are a Subaru fan. This car is so useless in the game. It doesn't win anything. The only niche this thing would have, that where it would be successful in, is performance only, or not performance only, but maybe if the track sets were all dry, Subaru ×5, common to ultra rare ×5, then this will shine. If not, it's gonna be second to something in anything else. It will be second in the 90 events, it will be second in the 4-wheel drive events, and when I mean second, I don't mean literally second, I mean not first, like not the best, you know. It will be second in Japanese events, second in all this. It's just a worse version of the Evo 4, which we saw earlier. It's a worse version of this car. This car is so bad, and you know, the one thing this car had going for it was that it used to have good MRA, but then I think it got like a 0 to 60 buff or something, and now the MRA got a nerf because of that buff, so the MRA isn't even that strong anymore. So yeah, this car is just trash. In my opinion, this car is kind of like the ultra rare version of the Jaguar Project 8. It's just not good at anything, really. Anyway, moving on is the Ford RS200. Amazing car. I would love to have 5 of these maxed out. Honestly, having 332 isn't even a bad option. Moving on now to Epic. So 18 Epics you can get from the Motorsport Carbon Fiber. 72 is the middle. So 7 will be lower end Epics, and 11 will be higher end Epics. So much like the Ultras, you have a higher chance of getting a higher tier Epic or Ultra, basically a higher tier of that rank, if that means anything to you. So starting us off with the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo. Moving on is the Lancia Stratos HF, the A-Bar for 124. This car is actually really, really good. Very, very light, decent stats, just not a very strong top speed, but that's fine. Mercedes-AMG CLK GTM. Now this, along with the first Lancer Evo that we saw, they're fused material, but once again, at this point, like, you can't even complain anymore, because if you get one of these cars, you got an Epic from a carbon fiber. That's already above the Call of Duty, so like, just be grateful. But yeah, moving on to the Subaru Impreza Wrx Sti. I love this car. Alright, so before you think I hate Subaru because I like to throw shade at the red one, I like this car a lot. This is one of my favorite Japanese cars of all time. So I'm not a Subaru hater. That's probably Android Fanatic, but not me. I love this car. But once again, in terms of it being useful in the game, it's not very useful, but I like the car. Moving on is the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo X, as well as the Impreza Wrx Sti. Moving on is the Porsche Carrera Rsr 3.0. Amazing car, this. I have it 323 actually, because someone told me 323 is better than 233. I don't know. I'm starting to doubt that. But I have this maxed out 323, and it's 3.399. Very light car, amazing, high top speed. Then we have the XJS TWR, which has amazing MRA. Moving on is the XJ13, which has a super low 0 to 60. It has the stats of a wide body Hellcat, minus 1 handling, but then also minus 0.1 in the 0 to 60. So it's a very, very good car, this. And then next we have the best Subaru in the game, the Subaru Wrx Sti, best in terms of like RQ. So yes, this is another plus from the Motorsport Carbon Fiber pack. Not only can you unpack the best Peugeot in the game, you can also get the best Subaru in the game. You can also get the best Mitsubishi in the game. That's packable. That is packable. Moving on, and the best packable Porsche in the game as well, in fact. But yes, and the best packable McLarens. But yes, moving on is the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 8, I think. I don't know those numbers. And then the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 6. I think that's a 6. And then moving on with the BMW M3 Crt. This one also is kind of, it's not the best, you know. M3 CS is better in terms of stats. And if you want like a medium BMW, actually, is this the best? No, because the M6 is better, right? Because this car used to be overshadowed by the M3 GTS, but now the M3 GTS isn't medium anymore. This one still is. Anyway, moving on, you can get is the best TVR Epic, the Tuscan race car, amazing machine, as well as the Renault Sport Megane Trophy. Both of these cars are amazing. 3989, 3789, amazing MRA on both of them. Really would be happy with any of them. And then of course we get the two best Mitsubishis in the game, the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 10 FQ360, as well as the Lancer Evo like 9, maybe. I think this is a 9. I don't know, MR FQ360 or Mr. FQ360. Anyway, moving on to legendaries now. There are 13 legendaries you can get from this pack, and all of them are amazing. Starting this off is the Opel Kadett Rallies 4S. Once again, you know, it's a new addition to the Motorsport Carbon Fibers, being the GE car. Also a new addition, because this wasn't in the last time I reviewed this pack. We got the Lancia Delta HF Integrale 16V and the Nissan R390 GT1 Road car. Moving along, we got the Lancia ECV as well as the Lancia Delta HF Integrale Evolution. Amazing cars! Just some of the best off-roader cars in this pack, some of the best slick tire cars. Of course, right, it makes sense, it's Motorsport Carbon Fiber. But then again, you also have some of the best medium ground clearance cars in the game with the Lancer Evo. So this is an amazing pack. Moving on is the Jaguar XJR15, along with the Lancia Monte Carlo Turbo, MRA of 105, by the way. Moving on is the Porsche 917 or the 917, along with this. Hutch hasn't fixed it yet. At this point, I don't think they ever will. But yeah, here's your 5-seater galore Bentley Continental GT3. And then we have the McLaren 720S GT3, the McLaren 650S GT3, and the McLaren 12C GT3. Come on! You're telling me that from this pack you can get a car that has the base stats of 97 handling stock? That is insane. The fact that you can unpack this car doesn't even make me jealous that I didn't get the BMW M8 GTE as a prize car, because this thing exists. But yeah, moving along, the best car you can get from this pack is indeed the Porsche 962C. Best Porsche in the game, hands down. Packable, obviously you can't get the 918. It's just such a great car. It's such a good car. There's nothing bad about this. Maybe you can say slicks, but in terms of a performance, you know, in terms of an asphalt dry situation, there's nothing bad about this if it's not city streets, because it has high top speed, low 0 to 60, amazing handling, and insane MRA. So the 962C definitely is an amazing car. But with that said, let's get back into my game and let me give you my verdict. So here we are, the Motorsport Carbon Fiber. What do I think about this pack? Should you open it? Yes, if you can open it, if you've had the gold saved up and you don't know why you're saving up the gold for. Like if you're free to play and you saved up your gold and you only want to use it for Aston Carbon Fibers, then by all means just wait for those packs. But if you have gold saved up and you don't know what to spend it on, the Motorsport Carbon Fiber is a great option to go for. So should you get it? Absolutely, if you can. Am I going to open it? I'm thinking about it. You know, I wish I didn't open that elite pack, the Call of the Wild elite pack, because I definitely didn't need to, considering I already finished a challenge without it. But I really wanted an ACR, to be honest. But I might open the Motorsport Carbon Fiber. It's just such a good pack, so you never know what you're gonna get from this. But the chances are it's most likely gonna be good, unless it's that Clio or the Subaru Wrx Sti. But with that said, one of the best packs in the game, or if not the best carbon fiber in the game, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. So yeah, that was the 1-year anniversary of what can you get from that pack. So I hope you guys have a great day, and remember to stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you all next time. Blossom out.